Yeah, I'm back. Cut me off again. So anyway, they're gonna, these other churches, they'll pray for the wicked. They'll sit there and try to teach the heathen, teach the 2/3. You know, if somebody's given a wicked, rebellious spirit, and you can sense in their spirit that they're not gonna hearken, or they're not gonna receive this knowledge, this truth, then guess what? We don't lose no sleep over that. We don't sit there and say, "Hey, we're gonna pray for you," or "We're gonna, I hope you can get it someday," or this and that. It's like, no, we know what the scriptures say, so we're just gonna move on from you. See? Um, let me go this real quick. Let me get this precept. Salakia, my phone, my computer's. I should probably restart it because it's running real slow. So here we go. Let me grab it on my phone. Precept. I don't remember where it's at, so let me just look it up. I thought it was in Timothy, and it is, so I didn't want to say it till I looked it up. So 2 Timothy 2:2, it says, and the things, let me see, I'll start at 1. It says, 2 Timothy 2:1, thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushai, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. You see that? So does it say commit to these people who don't believe in this knowledge? Does it say commit to the heathen? Does it say commit to everybody on the street? No, it's commit to faithful men. So that's why we don't worry about views. We don't worry about how many people are sitting there watching this at camp. Because when you start thinking like that, it shows that you don't understand the scripture. You start taking jabs at the brothers and saying, "Oh, well, where's your following? How come nobody out here watching you? Or how come you only got 10 views on your video?" You know, it's because we're only worried about faithful men who are of the elect. We're only worried, and women are going to be of the elect too. But really, this truth right now, it's for the men, right? It's hard for women to receive this knowledge. The women are going to be of the elect, but in reality, it's hard for a woman to receive this knowledge in its entirety. They won't be able to receive it. And it really, a lot of, even the 2/3, the women are like the 2/3 in a lot of ways, because they won't be able to receive this knowledge until they're in their, until Jacob's trouble happens, and then they have pressure on them, and they become desperate, right? But again, we're worried about the elect. We commit ourselves to faithful men who could, and like it says here, who shall be able to teach others also. Proverbs 9 and 10. It says, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the holy is understanding. Right? And the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. And when you got to examine yourself daily as a man in this truth. Because we're in the flesh, we fuck up. We're not perfect, man. We're not Yahweh Shai, right? But the goal is to be as close to Yahweh Shai as possible, in this walk of ours, And really, you don't want to beat yourself up, because we know that, we already know that, hey, for one, we can't keep the laws to perfection. So we keep it to the best of our ability. But you obviously don't want to be moving out here like a heathen, and just committing iniquity, which is sin upon sin upon sin. You really got to do your best, and work out your salvation with fear and trembling, as it is written, It says, the knowledge of the holy is understanding. And what does the word holy means? It means separate. So again, it's not for everybody. It's the faithful men. There's only going to be a few faithful men, that are going to be, of the elect compared to the masses. You see. So the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So meaning the separate, the elect, the especially the prophets, you're holy, your spirit is holy. The wisdom enters into that Holy Spirit of the elect, of the prophets, and it's not going to be a huge numbers game, right? We know that the elect is like Esau wants to call the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans minorities, but which that's not true. We're not the minority. We're the majority. When you add all the tribes together, we're outnumber the sand of the sea, right? We're the most fruitful nation on the planet Earth, right? But the thing is the ones who hold this knowledge, hold this truth. That's a it's like the metaphor with the gold and the clay. There's way more clay on this earth than there is gold. The gold is precious, just like the men who are likened unto a maiden or a virgin. We're precious in this knowledge, meaning we're less in number compared to the masses of the heathen and the 2/3. All right, so holy, we're separate. That's what that word holy means, separate. Verse 11, for by me thy days shall be multiplied, and thy years of thy life shall be increased. If thou be wise, thou shalt be wise for thyself, but if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it. A foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing, right? And a clamorous woman means she's loud, right? A loud woman, she's trying to be noticed, she's trying to grab attention to herself. A woman like that, if you come across a woman like that, hey man, if you have the discipline and you can hit it and quit it, do that rather than trying to win her over, because she's gonna, in the long run, she's gonna be she's gonna be like a scorpion in your hand, right? So hey, these women who want to be noticed, want to be loud, they don't, they want to be the life of the party. They want to get all the likes on Facebook and shit. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? You have a woman like that. She's like posting pictures for likes. Then that's a red flag for a man in this knowledge and this truth. If you have the discipline, you'll be able to get away from that type of woman. All right. Verse 14, for she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high place of the city to call passengers who go right on their ways, right? So these women, hey, especially if she's fine, if she looks good, and you're not diligent and you don't have a good foundation, hey, even King Solomon, in all his greatness, he succumbed to that vice or whatever you want to call that woman, who took him, where he was to the point where King Solomon was building up altars for his heathen women, gods. So, that's why I say take it with caution if you're around women like that. Like basically don't bite off more than you can chew. If there's a fine ass woman and you're not strong in the spirit and you like this woman so much, she's going to influence you to go off and to even be pulled out of this truth, then hey, that's why you examine yourself. Like you don't want to sit there and put yourself in a position where you're like going off of lust of a woman, and what if she's fine as hell? Then all of a sudden you're going to be like, if you're a weak man, if you're simple, guaranteed you ain't gonna get out of that trap, right? But if you're bold and your foundation is strong in this knowledge and this truth, then hey, maybe you can handle that woman for a night or two, but move on, because you don't want to be with a clamorous, loud woman who's sitting at the like it said here in 14, who sits at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, basically almost like a whore. Just wanting to be noticed, wanting to be, picked up. Verse 15, to call passengers who go right on their ways. Whoso simple, let him turn in hither. And as for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten is in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the dead are there, and that her guests are in the depths of hell. You see? And this is also could be liking them to like a false doctrine too, not just a clamorous whore or type woman. Also false doctrines, you know. If you're simple, you can go off on a false doctrine and you ain't gonna know. But if you're diligent and you have a spirit of discernment, and just you're gonna be what's the word I'm looking for? You're gonna be stable. You're gonna be like basically invincible in almost in a spiritual way, right? Like I say, if you're strong enough in the spirit to take on a woman like that, and you can just let her go. But if you're weak and you're one of them simpletons, then hey, that woman's gonna overtake you. And same thing with those doctrines. Those doctrines are gonna. But if you got that spirit built up, and hey, you might be able to take that woman for, like I say, a night or two or whatever, and move on from her. But the simple, what they're gonna do, they're gonna fall in love. They won't be able to break away from that woman. Same thing with the doctrines, right? If you're not diligent and built your spirit in your spirit, you're not going to be able to, when that crafty devil comes around and starts spitting his doctrine at you. If you're not in the truth, if you don't have the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, then guess what? You could be taken away by that false doctrine. See? But the stable men, hey, you got that foundation built up, your foundation is built on a solid ground, right? You didn't build that foundation on the sand, or something where when a storm comes it's going to be blown away, right? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close out. I hope the lesson was edifying. Just wanted to go in on a lesson because I've been working and now, just had to get this lesson in before I go to bed. But I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge the Akim who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. A shalom to the elect.